Hey, Mom's having a yard sale today, and I have to watch and make sure nobody comes while she's taking a shit. Hello. My mom's doing a yard sale, and I have to make sure nobody comes and steals our stuff while she's on the shitter. You hear that? That's a cicada. I've never seen one. I just hear them all the time. They're pretty gross. Mom has been selling stuff for drastically underpriced. Like, she sold one of my toys that was like $60 for $3, and I'm still mad about it. I'm live. Don't give away our address. Nobody came.
Okay.
Ouch. Hello. Where's Looky? Is Looky here? Is Looky in the chat? I'm gonna put socks on before I expose my feet to the internet. That's something I'm yet to do, and see how long I can keep that going. Okay. So every year, I did this on Twitch last year, but I figured I haven't been live on Twitch in forever, so I'd just do it here. I always do this stream where I like get all my school supplies ready, and I realize I haven't done that yet. And I'm looking for a place to set up my phone. What about this basket? What if I put my phone in the basket? Wow. I can't read any of the chat messages now. There we go. Looky, are you here? Looky, say something, Looky. Looky said he'd be here, and he might be lying. Where is he? Where is Looky? Ouch. That hurt. Are you going to college? I am. I got this fancy laptop. This is the laptop I will be using in college. Isn't it great? It's very nice. Windows 11. It's brand new. This laptop is an HP OmniBook 7. It came out in March, and I bought it in May. There's Lookie. Hello. All right. So every year I buy an ungodly expensive, an ungodly amount of money worth of school supplies. This year it was upwards of $200, and I've got more because I've got dorm shopping to do today. I bought these two binders from Staples. They're good binders, but I mean, why are they $20? And these folders are $3 each. I got one of every cool color. One year it pissed me off. I got a yellow one, but the logo down here was a different Staples logo, and it really triggered my OCD. I don't know if I have OCD, but stuff like that makes me think I do. So what I do for school is essentially I just write my name on everything in Sharpie. Any advice on college stuff? My senior year was much more laid back than my junior year. Junior year was a lot of like, because you want to beef up your application, right? So that's when you want to take the AP classes and the early college or whatever you want to do, that's when you want to do it. And that will help your college applications, but actually applying for colleges is okay. Did you paint those? I did paint both of those arts on the wall. I did. My credit. I submitted those to Brown University because they asked for a visual arts portfolio, even though I told them I wanted performing arts. I wanted to minor in music, not painting. And they made me submit them anyways. And I emailed them and I said, I'm not going for painting, but here's two of my paintings. And they said, we will take this into consideration. And then they rejected me. So I guess they didn't consider it too much. But anyways, the junior year is when you beef up your application, and then senior year, try to think of some colleges that you want to go to. I knew I wanted to go big, but I didn't know anything about college. Like I'm a first generation student. I'm the first one in my family to go to college. And the college process has changed in the last 20 to 30 years, so I can't ask my parents. So I worked, my school counselor is a little old and forgetful, so I didn't really like meeting with her. And I think she knew that because I didn't meet with her the whole year. I met with my TRIO counselor, and TRIO is a program for first generation low income students. And she helped me with everything. But the college application process is so stupid. My advice: when you apply to colleges, there's an early action option that shows you really want to go there. It just means you submit the same application as everybody else, but early. It shows you really want to go to that college. Don't ever do early decision. Early decision means if you get accepted, you are legally bound to go to that school, which means they can do whatever the hell they want to your financial aid package and make you pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and you will still be legally required to pay for that. Don't do that. Never, I didn't click anything that said decision on it. I only did the actions. None of the Ivies had early action. They only had early decision. So I would have had, if I got in, I would have been legally bound to the Ivies. Don't do that. Um, it's a lot of essays. Put all your best effort into the essays. Get as much feedback as you can on the essays. Make your essays. Don't be cliche with your essays. Make sure when they read your essays that the next day they wake up, they're like, I remember that kid's essay. Don't blend in with the crowd. Make an effort to stand out from the crowd. Um, make yourself sound cooler than everybody else. Pick an actually a nice topic for your college essay that shows that you're a good student. Um, there's a lot to it. And then after you submit your applications, they're going to send you a whole bunch of crap to set up your portal. And then in the portal, there's a bunch of documents you have to fill out, and you have to fill out a bunch of financial aid documents. I had to, my father's not a part of my life, so I had to fill out this document that proved that essentially he wasn't a part of my life, and it had people that co-signed it. I needed 3 co-signers, 3 people not affiliated with my family to sign on the fact that I do not in fact have a father. And after you do that, you have to fill that out. If you're if you have one source of income, you have to fill that out for each college you apply to. It's not one universal document. You have to reply. You have to sign that document for every single college you apply to, and each one does it slightly differently. So I had to fill out 10 of those documents. I had to ask the same 4 people to prove that I don't have a dad 10 times. And then I didn't even get into the Ivies. Whatever. They're stuck up elitists anyways. So that's my advice to you. I'm in trio, and trio programs. You go all the signing up for your SATs and doing all that is free, completely free for trio kids. So I didn't have to pay for any of the college application. I just spoke to my counselor and said I need a waiver for this, and they gave me a waiver. So I didn't have to pay for any of that. So that was the good part. If I wanted to do something, I could just do it. I didn't have to pay $10 every time. Yeah, to submit your CSS portal, it's $15 plus $9 for every school you apply to. So with the 10 schools I applied to, that was $90 plus the 15 fee. So that was $105. All waived. I didn't have to pay any of that. Thank God. Basically what I do is I write my name on everything. That's kind of just the ritual every year. Oh, you could see the spot on my head probably. Thanks for being proud of me. I still have some of the stuff they sent me. Let me see if I can get it out. I have it in here, I think. In my piano stool. Yeah. This is a letter from Harvard Admissions and Financial Aid. And it's like, have you considered Harvard? Your strong academic performance indicates that Harvard and other selective universities may be a good fit for you. Same letter from Yale. Congratulations on your hard work. The office has identified you as a student who may be a good candidate for Yale. Um, hmm. Oh, yes. So the first college I got accepted to was Keene State, and that's why it was the first, because it's a state college and it was like my last resort, if all else did not work out. And they actually sent me a personalized card. What a tremendous essay and a small window into your character, work ethic, and passion. It was easy to picture you here at Keene State, participating in the music department events, running for student government, and maybe even local government as well. I could see you traveling to DC to spend a semester at the Washington Center and traveling with the honors program on a global engagement trip. We would love to have you as a member of our incoming class. I didn't take them up on that offer. And this looks sick, doesn't it? This is from Bard. I was actually really proud of this one. Bard is it's not super selective, but it's a difficult school to get into. And this is my acceptance letter from Bard. I decided not to go to Bard because I thought it was too far away. But Bard is a great school. You should apply to Bard. Put Bard on your list. Unless you're from it's in New York. So if you don't live close to New York, don't put Bard on your list. But yeah, if you have a good GPA, they'll send you these letters that are like, you'll be a good candidate for us, and then they send that to anybody who has a good GPA. A lot of kids just get a big head about that, and they're like, look at this letter I got from Harvard, but in reality, they just want your money. It's a liberal arts school. Keene State or Bard? I don't know entirely. I think you're right. Bard is. What a good GPA. At my school, it was a 1 through 4 system, and then you could get extra credit. So basically, all the kids who had a GPA bigger than 4 got that letter. So yeah, it wasn't really. I don't like that. I messed that one up. I will redo that one. My GPA, they add up all your grades and divide by the number of classes. I don't actually know. It's kind of anyone's guess because at my school you can take quarter classes, and that's half a credit, and you can take the average semester classes, which is 1 credit, or the AP classes. Most of them are a year long. That's 2 credits. So I don't know how any of that works or how they do the math. I try to do the math on my own. I try to use GPA converters. So 3.8 isn't a good GPA. It depends on what it's out of. Some schools do it out of 5. If your school does it out of 5, that's a pretty decent GPA. If your school does it out of 4, that's a great GPA. Does your school do weighted or unweighted? I think there should be a universal system. Alphanumeric grading would be better than 1 through 4 because, yeah, I can easily get a 4, but I cannot easily get an A+. I'd have to work for the A+. And that makes students work harder. My GPA when I graduated was 4.25. And I was 6th. Yeah, there were 5 people ahead of me. Don't ask how. Actually, I know how. They paid to take classes that I couldn't pay for. What homework are you doing? I'm not 4.5, 4.25 out of what? So technically, if you took every single class as an AP class, it you your max would be 4.66. So like it's out of 4, but your extra credit from honors classes gives you a 0.33 boost, and your extra credit from AP classes gives you a 0.66 boost. It's stupid. I don't like the way my school does it, but it's 4.25 technically out of 4.66, but it's not possible to take all AP classes. So that's a dumb comparison. Unweighted, my GPA was a 3.98. That's a better system. 3.98 out of 4, technically. But nobody looks at their unweighted GPA boost. So all schools do it differently, and I think it's dumb. And a lot of the kids in my class are much more competitive than I was. A lot of them got mad at me when I was doing good, but I didn't care. Like I don't care about GPA. I just want to do good. You know? That's all I care about, is being a good student. I don't give a crap about my class rank. If you're anywhere with near the top 10, you're a very competitive candidate for several universities, and you don't have to worry about. Yeah. Learning is what matters. Learning is what matters. A lot of kids are like, oh my God, how am I going to get a 4 on this? And the band teacher got mad at the band kids a lot because they weren't practicing. And whenever I would do an assessment with him, he'd be like, yeah, I'll just give you a 4, whatever, because he didn't actually care about grading. He only wanted you to do the work. All the kids were like, I don't know how all my GPA is going to drop. I'm not going to get a 4 on this. It was such a dumb, all the kids would panic whenever an assessment came up because they were worried about their GPA dropping. And first of all, math classes open to reassessments. So like if you get something wrong, you can reassess it. That's great and all, but I feel like me, who like actually studied every single night and who went into the assessments and didn't have to reassess, shouldn't get the same grade as somebody who procrastinated the whole course and then did it all in the last 2 weeks. That doesn't feel fair to me. Like I worked much harder than he did, and he got the same grade as me. That's dumb. I'll be right back. Where's the rubbing out? Thank you, mother. Isn't presence part of the grade? Yes, but it's at my school, your homework is not graded on correctness. It is graded on completion. So if you don't show up to school and then you put random answers in on the homework, you get the same credit as somebody like me and my friends who actually did the homework and who actually studied and did it all and did it right. I don't know, man. I definitely worked harder than some of those kids. Perfect. Look on the bright side. The professors will care more about effort. Absolutely, they will. How did I study? I would always try and do my work in school. A lot of kids think that the kids who study are the kids that like stay up till midnight doing their homework. It's actually quite the opposite, because when you do calculus before bed, you fry your brain, and then your brain's off. Um, I always did my homework before I left school. There was maybe 1 or 2 days through my entire 4 years of high school where I wasn't able to complete it all. Um, Try and do that. Try and use your lunch. I always did calculus homework at lunch. Um, when you're in school, always be in the learning zone, and then when you're out of school, rest. Watch a movie. Don't push yourself. Unless you have like an AP test or like a huge exam the next day, what I like to do is I like to read my notes before I went to bed. And so I would sleep and I would dream of calculus. And yeah, that helps. Um, what grade are you in? I just graduated high school. So I'm 2 weeks and I'm going to head to college. I did not announce where I was going. It's not the biggest school. I would rather keep it private, but it's a good school. It's a very good school, and I want a scholarship. I'm going for free. Oh, $2. Oh, I got two. Thank you so much for that $2. Wow, can we have a round of applause for the $2, please, just to show I'm grateful? Can I like that? Am I allowed to? Where do I like? Can I do that? Oh, wow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What was the question? Sorry, the $2 made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, I'm keeping it private because it's not a big school, but it is a very nice school. They are very political and they are very musical, and that is exactly where I need to be. I want to transfer to something bigger, or at the very least, go to grad school somewhere bigger. So I might decide to stay there for an extra year, but I really am looking at Georgetown University as a transfer. That's right in Washington, D.C. That would be awesome to go to Georgetown. The thing about big cities is the bigger they are, the less relevant you are. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. No one's gonna know who I am when I'm in a big city. They're just gonna walk by me. But if I went to Georgetown, I loved Washington when I visited. Other than traffic, no one can drive there. But hey, it's a big city. No one can drive in any big city. I've never seen my stepdad so mad. Try LSU as good professors in a great community. I always wanted to go somewhere big. That's why I chose the Ivies. But now I really just don't want to go to the Ivies anymore, if I'm being honest. I don't feel like they are exactly where I want to be. I read this book. This book was for my summer reading. Look at all these notes I took. And this is about a girl who goes to Brown, who originally wanted to go to the school I'm going to. So it's kind of the opposite. Her second choice was the school I'm attending, and her first choice was Brown, and I got rejected from Brown. And it's the story is there's this artist. This is based on a true story, so the names are changed and stuff. But the girl's researching this white male artist, and she realizes that the white male artist didn't actually make any of his art, and that it was mostly his wife, and that he stole his wife's art, and that he probably murdered his wife, threw her out of a window in New York City. And the school just won't talk about it. And whenever you bring up the wife, the school gets mad, and all the rich, white, elitist, insensitive people capitalizing on the most animalistic impulses of the public, they completely ignore the woman of color who is actually responsible for the hardware. Yeah, so the thing about Ivies is they have good, like, foreign exchange, like foreign programs, like they, diversity is the word I'm looking for. Ever since the Supreme Court did that thing where they said you can't look at race and take that into consideration, it's very, they claim that your income doesn't affect it. Your income won't affect your chances. But if I go to a prep school and my parents have made a generous $4 million donation to the university, I'm probably going to have a bigger chance than if I went to a public school in a small town. So your income doesn't directly affect your chances, but having more money makes it easier to get in. It definitely does. And most people there are rich. Binder tabs. Look at these cool binder tabs I got. I got the plastic ones so they don't rip out. Well, how do I open these? How do I open these? Yeah, so the IVs, they're not, I'm not too happy with. I mean, Harvard has been battling the Trump administration, and generally speaking, has not, backed down, has protected high education. But when it comes to, like, Columbia, the president of Columbia was actively booed at their graduation because of the settlement with President Trump. I think if you are at one of those universities, you definitely have a sense of pride for yourself, and you want to see, like, if someone's attacking your education, you want to see somebody fight against that. And I feel like it's very disappointing to see many of the presidents of Ivy League institutions capitulate and do jack shit about anything coming their way. It saddens me. School starting at 8:30 is a normal thing. My school, I took an early class, so I had to be there every day at 7:30. I wish. During COVID, they started at 9. In my state during COVID, we had to start at 9. The days were shorter, and we started at 9. And I gotta say, that's some of the best sleep I've ever gotten and the best I've ever done in school. More sleep. God damn, bro. Definitely. We learn in psychology as you grow up, you're like, adults will often complain, oh, these teenagers, they're tired because they're staying up late, right? No, our brains aren't built for that. Our brains naturally learn how to stay awake later and sleep in longer, which is why I find it stupid that younger kids, a lot of times in elementary years, school starts at 8 or 9, and then as you get older, they start pushing back the time that school starts. Um, and then you start at 7 or 8. And so the older you get, the more your body requires you to sleep in, and also the more the more sleep you need, and the earlier school starts. That's always pissed me off. I don't like our school system here in this state. If I'm being honest, I don't like a lot of things about the current state of things. What's the time for you? It's currently 10 a.m., 10:04 a.m. I live up in the Northeast. Oh yeah, buses for my school is a purely elementary and middle school thing. Once you're in high school, you're on your own. You gotta walk. A lot of times, we get a lot of snow here, and so a lot of times we'd get an ungodly amount of snow overnight, and the superintendent would send out a message like, "Welcome to Vermont. School's still on today. No delays, no nothing. Get in your car, drive on the icy roads." First of all, not everybody lives right by the school. Some people drive from 30, 40 minutes away. It's not safe for them. Second, some people have to walk to school. It's not really safe for them either. And third, the superintendent herself did not go into her job those days because she thought it was unsafe for her to drive her car to her job. That is what? That's terrible. That pisses me off because I want to stay home. I don't want to go out. It's cold. It's like 40 below. What was I going to do next? Oh, yes. There's more up here. I've been reading this book, Things That You Should Know About Politics But Don't, a nonpartisan guide to the issues that matter. I've learned a lot about super PACs. I've learned a lot about how votes are counted in elections, and I'm currently reading about the 2000 election and how that was badly handled. I learned the difference between hard money, soft money, and dark money. Fun fact, when you donate to a candidate, you are legally required to disclose your name. It's a citizen donating to a candidate. But if you're donating to an organization, then that's what's called soft money, and you don't have to disclose your name. So it can be a company or whatever donating to an organization that is obviously going to fund the candidate, but you just don't have to disclose your name. And also, there's a limit on how much money you can send to a candidate. I think it's $3,300 per election cycle. So, but when it comes to soft money, there's no limit on that. So I could make $1 million donation to an organization that favors the candidate I want, and then they can use that money to buy ads against the candidate I don't favor. So it's a way to influence elections without directly influencing elections. Also, if I donate millions and millions of dollars to nonprofit organizations, the nonprofit organizations can then donate to the soft money organizations, and because they're nonprofits, they legally don't have to disclose where they got their money from. So technically, if I wanted to be evil, I could donate $1 million to a nonprofit that didn't like the candidate I don't like, and then the $1 million would be donated to an organization that would spend that on attack ads. And so basically the really wealthy can control ads and voting and stuff. I've never had an election and probably never will. Is this still about school? Yes. Yeah, back to school. Back to the topic of school. It's kind of boring. If you're bored, you're free to leave. I know. I'm not. This is just me getting ready for it's college, getting my stuff together. I've got these to write my name on. Oh, about the school stuff you were talking about. Oh, okay. I have school tomorrow. Good. Is it your first day tomorrow? Or is it, have you already started? My first day is on a Thursday. I don't know why. I don't know why schools do this here. It's like your first day of school. It's like a half day, your first day, and then Friday, and then you're done for the week, and then you're off an extra day because it's Labor Day. No, I just got a day off. Oh. Mechanical pencils or wooden pencils? I hate mechanical pencils, and my girlfriend prefers them. And so when I help her with her work, I'm just annoyed, and I have to dig in my bag and get a wooden pencil because I hate mechanical pencils. They break so easily, and I just don't like them. These are all of my pencils from my senior year, and this is what I do. I call this the purge. I go through and I throw out the ones that are way too short because I probably won't use them anyway. When's the Q&A coming up with your stepdad? Probably Tuesday. We're going to film it Tuesday, and then I'm going to edit it together and hopefully release it Tuesday, if not Wednesday. I'm kind of scared for school. I'm going to my first year of high school, and I'm all honors. I think my classes are going to be far from each other. Don't worry about it. I was nervous going in, too. I mean, duh. It's like a big step up, you know? But it's a different environment, yes. And high schoolers can be mean. But it'll be fine. How did your summer go? I'm reading these vastly out of order. My summer went well. Oh, God damn it. I had a good summer. Is 9th grade high school? Yes. You start high school at 9th grade. In my school, you go kindergarten, and then 1st through 4th is elementary, 5th through 8th is middle, and then 9th through 12th is high school. A lot of schools consider 5th grade elementary still, and a lot of schools consider 6th grade also elementary still. But for me, It was 5th grade. I was a middle schooler. Lucky I wouldn't stream for more than 45 minutes, and I've got to sharpen all my pencils, which is probably something that you would be incredibly bored watching anyways. So there's just one more thing I want to show you. You know that song that I promised you I was working on? I've got everything written. I just need to make it now, and I don't know how. I'm not good at making music, I'm just good at writing it. Look, it's a microphone, but it's not on. It's just awkwardly in my face. Oh, my counselor gave me one of these. My trio counselor gave me a Rocktopus. It is a Dwayne The Rock Johnson octopus. I got to keep it. Changes color, I think, but this is a Rocktopus. So the song that I'm making is, I decided, going to be in the key of G minor. And I have so, oh shit. So I have I came up with that. So it's G, E flat, B flat, and then you suspend the 5th, or the 4th, the 4th, and then a lot of songs do this, where when you get to the pre-chorus, you just fall, basically. You just walk down the scale. And then I had that little that whole thing. So I think that's going to be the chorus line. And so it's going to... Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Wow, that's fun.
That the chorus line is a... starts to creep. B. That's it. It's also the chords used by most TV show theme songs and Christmas songs. And also the Steven Universe theme song. We'll always save the day. But if you think we can, we'll always find a way. Huh? All right. I think I'm going to get going here. I got to sharpen my pencils now, which is going to take at least an hour because I decided to buy unsharpened pencils instead of sharpened ones because the sharpened ones were like $5 more. And I didn't feel like doing that. So thank you everybody so much for tuning in, and thanks for the $2 donate. What's your name? I will shout you out as an appreciative for your $1.99 donation. I just have to sassy SAASII. Sassy is how I'm gonna choose to pronounce that. It might be wrong, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Well, this is awkward. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Hello, you're the guy who had the cat named Zippy. I recognize your profile picture. Rest in peace, Zippy. Thank you. I'm gonna go now. Have a nice day, whatever you're deciding to do. Goodbye. And now I have to figure out how to end it because I forgot how to end it. Oh, it's green. Oh, it's green. Look, it's a chicken dressing up as a duck, or a duck dressing up as a chicken. I thought that was really funny. Look, it's me next to Abraham Lincoln. Look, it's me on the stairs. Look, it's me next to the United States Capitol building. Look, it's me at the American History Museum holding Prince's guitar. Look, it's me at 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue at a replica of the United States Resolute desk. Look, it's me in front of the Washington Monument. Is there anything you can't do? I can't cook. I'm really bad at cooking. Anyways,